Welcome to Open House 2021. My name is Mrs. McPherson, Kara McPherson, and this is my video to explain what the ins and outs are of AP Calculus AB. I have been teaching in Twinsburg. This is my 22nd year. I've been teaching AP Calculus for 21 years, so this is kind of my baby. I absolutely love teaching calculus. It's my favorite thing to teach at the high school. So I'm just going to take a couple minutes because I know everyone has very busy lives to just talk a little bit about the course, what to expect, what you should see your son and daughter working on, so you know kind of where they are every other day in calculus class. So I have two classes. I have a blue block 1 and I have a white block 2. The goal of the class is to model the AP curriculum. So I do work with the College Board, going through and looking at what are they going to need to know when it's time to take their AP test in May, and how can I best get that to them. Every single student is in an AP classroom page for our topic. So I have this AP classroom page. They are actually already all enrolled in that, and that is how their tests will be ordered come May when it's time to get those AP tests rolling. It also provides a lot of resources for both myself and students, looking at kind of guides, progress, seeing what we're doing. I use it kind of more on the back end where I'm going through and doing it, making sure I'm hitting all the boxes when I'm teaching the course, and occasionally can assign work through that as well. So the AP Calculus test this year is going to be given on Monday, May 9th. It's a little bit later than it was last year. It's a pretty long test. It is a 3-hour and 15-minute test made up of both multiple choice questions and free response questions. That test is partly done with a graphing calculator and partly done without a graphing calculator. So I teach the class accordingly, making sure they know how to use it, but then also how to deal with questions where they're not allowed to use it. All of the fees, everything associated with AP does get paid through the district. I believe it can be done through Easy Pay or through check prior to that test happening in May. Our goal will be to hit all of the topics between now and then and give them a chance to kind of put it all together and review and get them ready for that course and that test. As far as our resources, I do all my communication through AP or through Google Classroom. So I have a Google Classroom page for every single class that I teach. So here's our blue one. I use this as a way to post assignments. I post class notes. If a student was absent, I do a lot of posting my notes from the day, extra help videos, reminders, anything that a student needs, I try to put in there so they have one place to look. Instead of using a textbook, I really do everything online. So there's not a book they need to carry to and from class. Everything is done via their AP Classroom account or their Google Classroom account. We also work with a site called Delta Math. It's an absolute favorite of mine. And last year, when we went really paperless, we were using it a lot. This year, I'm doing a little bit of both. Delta Math is a site that allows me to create assignments, practice problems that go through every topic that I teach. And it matches really well with the College Board, which I appreciate. So it has all different levels of mathematics. But when we get down to these gray ones here, it goes through and it's taking you through calculus. And I can actually click on this. And this is how I do a lot of my assigning. Sorry, my lights went off because I'm not moving enough. This is how I do a lot of my assigning and my homework problems. And what I love from this is if a student is struggling, it gives them extra example problems. It gives them extra help videos. And I've actually inputted my own YouTube videos into a lot of the assignments so that students can watch that and they get to hear my voice, not just the voice of a stranger or a computer generated voice to go through that. So they are all working through this account as well, primarily for homework assignments. If a student wants to have a supplemental resource, I always recommend the Barron's Prep book because I think it's a great book that does model the AP. It is not something they have to have, but some students like to have an extra resource at home, especially as they get closer to the test to prepare. You do use graphing calculators, although students will tell you we haven't used them very much yet. The current chapter that we're on is just not a heavy calculator section. When they take the AP test, only 25% of that test can be done with a calculator. So my goal is to teach them again how to use it, but also to realize that there are often situations where they're not able to. I don't talk too much about cell phones in this class. I do have a holder whenever they're taking a test to put it in, but other than that, I just ask that while I'm teaching, they're listening to me, and they are amazing with that. As far as grades, 15% of their grade is homework. The homework is associated with each lesson. It's often assigned on Delta Math. I do give them time to work on homework in class. I think it's so important right after the lesson to start practicing it. So if they have a question or an issue that I'm close by, I can help them out. I will do some assignments directly through the AP site, some maybe through Google Classroom, but a lot are coming through Delta Math. As far as notebooks, as long as they're keeping a notebook, to me, it does not matter what type of notebook. It's truly their personal preference. I usually give in my mind, more detailed notes than what they'd see in a college class. So these are great things to take with them when they do head off to college. They have all these notes together. And then your tests and quizzes for the class will make up the other 85% of the grade. I don't do anything surprise. Everything is announced well in advance. I try to very carefully model things after the AP test. So there will be a multiple choice section. Usually I have them filling out a Google form for that. There will be a short answer section where they're going through and doing their work, and I'm able to kind of follow through and see how they're doing. And then last year, one thing I started doing is for longer questions, longer free response, I would give them a question at the end of a chapter and ask them to create a Flipgrid video, a video response explaining how they would do that problem. And I wasn't sure how that would go last year. It ended up being an overwhelming success. Students liked it because it gave them a chance to kind of on their own time put together their answer. I liked it because I got to hear them actually talk through what they did with math, and it just made the learning easier and make more sense. So that's what I will do with the grades, at the assessments. I'm very good, I think, in putting my grades in very quickly. So if you want to see if your son or daughter is completing things in a timely manner, if you go to the parent access, you should see an updated grade pretty much all the time. I like to update my grades usually each morning. We will not have a final exam for this course because of the AP test in May. We will have a midterm exam, and that midterm will be the last week of the first semester, which is in January. So you'll have, as far as grades, they'll have a quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 grade, and then they will have a midterm grade in January and no final exam because of the AP test taking its place at the end of the year. And then the last piece is I always tell students, like, I am so blessed to work with the best and brightest math students in the building. And so I encourage them to work to their potential. When they have a question, come to me, ask me. Some just like to come and ask for extra resources, extra things if they're struggling with a topic, so they can do that. For the underclassmen that are in the room, I hope that when this year is over, they love calculus so much they decide to keep going. I do offer an AP Calculus BC course, which is the extension. It's the Calc 2 part. I have one of those classes right now, which are all students that were underclassmen when they took Calc 1 and decided that they weren't done and wanted to keep going and then take the Calc 2 course. It is truly a pleasure and honor to work with your sons and daughters. If you have any questions for me, just want to ask something, feel free to email me using my school account. You can use the Remind 101. Send me a message in whatever format is best for you, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, have a great day. I hope that the virtual environment of Open House answered the questions that you have, and let me know if you need anything else. Thank you.